the Barrientes twins, Chavez and Angel Barrientes. Gentlemen, thank you guys very much for joining us. And first of all, how are you and your family doing? I know that we're dealing with this pandemic of the coronavirus, but how have you guys been? Is everyone safe and healthy?
Yeah, everybody's healthy. We're just trying to stay in the gym and just working hard. So everybody's safe, everybody's good. Just waiting until this COVID gets over so we get back in action.
Now, you guys are new to Premier Boxing Champions. You haven't made your debut with PBC, but first of all, let's go back a little bit before we even get into that. You guys just graduated high school a little over a month ago. Can you tell us about what it meant for you guys to graduate high school and how that happened, despite the fact of dealing with the coronavirus? Because I believe you guys couldn't attend school in person for the last month and a half to 2 months.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because we did online for 3 years. We did our first 3 years of school online. So we only had our senior year to go to actual high school. So, we had like 4 months and then, Corona hit. So, we just, for those past 4 months, we just graduated we just had our walk. Yeah, just not too long ago, like a week. So, it's a big accomplishment for us. I think I would have liked to go to high school, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's good to have it over, though. Now we could focus on boxing a lot more.
Yeah.
You guys are based in Las Vegas, and I found it to be very interesting that your father actually did a drive-by for you guys where people were driving by with their cars congratulating you guys when you came out of the gym. What was that like? Did he surprise you?
It was actually a surprise. Our publicist, Mario, came over here, took pictures of us, and they told us to go outside, and there's a whole line of cars just come and give us graduation gifts. And
that was pretty cool.
That was nice. Everybody came by and said congratulations to us for graduating. That was probably like a month ago.
Well, now let's talk about, what it means for you guys to be with Premier Boxing Champions. I know you have a manager, Bob Santos, who I think is such a brilliant mind. Also, Louis DeCubas Jr., who I don't think gets enough credit for what he does in the sport of boxing. Your father is your trainer and has been there from the very beginning. But, can you give us an idea? Mario Serrano, your publicist, who I think does an excellent job. I was actually on the phone with Mario a couple hours ago, and Mario's all like, dude, he's like, these guys, because I've never seen you guys fight. And he goes, you have to prepare for something very special. But what does it mean for you guys? And talk about the individual members of your team, starting with Bob Santos, in terms of being with PBC now.
We're truly blessed to, have those people behind us. We couldn't ask for no one greater. Bob Santos is a great guy. He never puts us, he always puts us behind his shoulder. Mario, he's always straight up with us. He always gets us, these interviews and takes pictures of us. He gets the word out there. So we have some great people behind us. Especially my dad. He's been training us since we started boxing. So yeah. I couldn't ask for a better team right now.
Yeah, we have a great team behind us. Just ready.
Yeah.
And fighting with PBC, I mean, you guys could have, I know you were both highly sought after and everyone pretty much came to the table and wanted you to be a part of their promotional entity. But then you ended up with PBC. Can you tell us about your thought process, your dad's thought process when it comes to finding the right fit for you guys, for both of you guys?
Yeah, well, basically, we just started sparring and we got a hold of Bob Santos. He's always been around us. And, we think PBC is just the right way to go. We like you guys' promotion company. And Bob just telling us his word. And as long as we train hard, we're going to get to where we're supposed to be.
And also, I know that one of the things that stood out, and you guys have been fighting since you were very, very young. I remember hearing stories about when Robert Guerrero was training to fight Michael Katsidis back in 2011, and Bob is in the gym, and he looks over and he sees you guys working out because Robert Guerrero was actually working out in your father's gym, and he's like, let me keep, an eye out on these young kids, you barely 10 years old, and Mario Serrano kept up with you guys. Is that kind of how the process went, that, you caught the eye of Bob Santos when Robert Guerrero was training for the Katsidis fight?
Yeah, we, back when we was young, we always know Bob, and then, he seen us when we were sparring back at Solid's gym, and he was like, wow, these guys are good, and then he remembers us since he was little. So, yeah. he's seen us grow since we was 8 years old to now. So
yeah, they've always been around us. Roberts used to come and train at our gym for training camps, and Bob was there, and their whole team, they'll just watch us since we were little. So now we're at the professional stage, and we're doing good. So they still have their eye on us, yeah.
Let's go back and look at your amateur career. You guys were very successful, both winning over double-digit national titles, both you guys individually. You know,
Yeah.
Why did you decide to turn pro at the age of 17? I know that we're in the midst of a pandemic, but you guys turned pro even before the pandemic hit in November of last year. Why did you decide to turn professional and not wait for the Olympics?
Well, the way our birthday's set up, we're gonna be like a year young for the Olympics. So you have to be 18 the time of the trials. So we were gonna be 17. So we couldn't make the Olympics anyways. And we were sparring a lot of pros, and we're doing pretty good. So we decided to make the transition. We can't make the Olympics, so we just turned professional.
yeah, we didn't want to wait another 4 years for the Olympics.
We feel like we're ready for the professionals. Yeah.
Do you feel like your styles are better suited for the professional rings?
You know, when you're amateurs, it's a little different. So we had to learn how to change our style a little bit just to sit on punches more. But, you know, it's the same thing. It's just, you know, pros, it's just a little harder. They hit harder, smaller gloves.
Smarter gloves. You got to keep your hands up more.
So
got to be smarter. So just little adjustments you got to change.
Working with the pros helped us a lot, you know, getting ready to get to the pro stage, you know.
Yeah.
When I also have to fight, now I'm sure you guys get asked this a lot, but you know, you have to tell me who is Chavez and who is Angel, just so that we can kind of start that process, the familiarity process, when it comes to our viewers.
So the most difference is I have a scar on my right eyebrow. Probably got to get closer to see, but my brother,
and then my brother, I'm Chavezz. Yeah, so you know, people can't tell us apart in the beginning, but once they see us, you know,
we fight a little bit different too.
Yeah,
so
we also fight a little different.
You can tell by our styles.
So what would you say, you know, Chavezz, what would you say your style is compared to your brother Angel? How would you guys, when it comes to the separation of your styles?
I feel like we still box, you know, we use our jab a lot, but I feel like I sit in the punch, sit inside a little more. Like, I like to sit inside a little more, and then, you know, my brother,
I would just say I'm a little bit more technical than my brother. We're both technical, but I like to stay on the outside a little bit more, pick my shots, and pick them apart before I get on the inside.
Well, Chavezz, I think it's so fitting that you like to fight on the inside because, if I'm correct, your father named you after Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., so I think that's very interesting and very unique to your style, that you fight very similar to that of Chavez Sr. when it comes to his sort of philosophy.
Yep, you know, my dad named me after Julio Cesar Chavez. You know, I always looked up to him. So, you know, I always, you know, I try to get after him. That's my name, so, you know, I try to fight.
I also understand that you guys have, you know, you had like a tour in some aspects. And what I mean by that is a sparring tour. I know you went down to Texas to work with Brandon Figueroa, also, you know, Omar Juarez as well. You know, I heard talks that you were, you know, sparring with Felix Verdejo, who's, you know, Puerto Rican fighter as well. But, you know, can you tell us about who else you guys have sparred with?
Well, I sparred Robesi, Ramirez, Kazuto Ioka, Brandon Figueroa. Today, actually this morning right before this interview, we sparred Felix Verdejo. Who else?
I sparred Tomoki Kameda, Escandon, you know.
Julio Ceja. Yeah, so a lot of pros, they're helping us get ready, helping us adapt to the pro style a little bit more.
Develop.
Yeah.
When speaking of development, Ruben Guerrero, the father of Robert Guerrero, you know, is quite high on you guys as well. You know, when you walked into his gym out in California and he said, man, oh man, these kids are super talented. What does it mean to you guys to kind of hear these kind words, you know, from these guys who have been around, you know, the highest level of prize fighting?
Yeah, it's great to hear like everybody talk highly of us. You know, we work very hard to be up here, and you know, it's just great when I hear like great feedback from my performance.
Yeah, we work really hard, so it's good to hear people talk highly of us because I feel like we deserve it.
Well, speaking highly of you guys, your father is pretty much a self-made trainer. As I was looking into your story, that, you know, your father sort of brought you guys around amateur tournaments and said, you know what, I'm going to open up my own gym, because he got a grasp of what the amateur system was like. Can you tell us about the chemistry that you have with your father? And also, I think it speaks volumes when it comes to him just being, not really going to any one gym in particular, but saying, I believe in my sons, I believe in my ability, so let's start our own gym instead of going somewhere else.
Yeah. My dad's always been around boxing, and me and my dad and my brother are all close, so he opened his own gym, and he did a little bit of boxing when he was little, so he opened our gym and started training us when we were about 7, 8 years old, and it's out here in Las Vegas, so he's been training us ever since.
Yeah, ever since we were 8 years old, we started hitting these tournaments, gaining more experience.
Yeah.
So I feel like, experience in the amateurs helped us out a lot, big time.
Well, originally you guys are from Hawaii, and then you moved to Las Vegas. Do you remember anything about Hawaii growing up? I know that you're half Filipino, half Mexican, which to boxing fans talk about two rabid fan bases, but do you guys remember growing up in Hawaii?
Yeah, we're born in Hawaii. We always go back every once in a while. Hawaii, that's where we're born, so we always rep Hawaii. That's our home.
Yeah,
so
we lived there since we went to kindergarten there, and we came back to Vegas. That's where we started boxing.
Yeah, where we grew up in Vegas, but we were born in Hawaii.
I know not going too, further ahead, but have you potentially down the line, especially before the, this past year when it comes to PBC, we saw Jamal Charlo have a homecoming fight in Houston, Errol Spence in nearby Arlington in the Dallas area, almost 50,000 fans. Caleb Plant in Nashville. David Benavidez was supposed to have a homecoming fight in Phoenix. But down the line, have you guys thought about maybe having a homecoming fight of your own in Hawaii when it comes to PBC?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy because there's not a lot of I haven't seen any boxing fights over there, so that'd be really cool. Yeah, if there's a fight out there.
Who do you guys look up to in boxing? I'm going to just take a wild guess. The fact that you're half Mexican, half Filipino, I assume that a certain 8-division world champion comes to mind for both of you.
Yeah,
Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao.
He's our favorite fighter. He got a lot of heart. I feel like he's just a great all-around guy, humble guy too.
Humble guy. He's good inside out the ring, and he's just a warrior,
Yeah.
Also, you turned pro down in Mexico. You had your first 2 fights down there. Obviously, had to make sure you got clearance and everything else. But can you tell us about what that experience was like in your first 2 fights? You guys are both individually 2-0 with 2 knockouts. Chavez, I believe both of your knockouts came in the first round. But, dive into that experience and not even being 18 years of age and already having 2 fights under your belt.
Yeah, well, it was a good experience. Around November, we had our first pro fight. It was down in Tijuana, and it was just a good first fight. I knocked him out in the first round. Did good, didn't get hit. I caught him with a few clean shots, and then they stopped it. So it was a good experience for my first fight. Second fight as well, knocked him out in the 3rd round. So it was a good experience going down there, getting us ready for the higher fights.
So it's way more different than the amateurs for sure.
Yeah.
Do you is it, I assume, a lot more quicker and the, being able to react more and, you can actually go out and, physically hurt your opponent a lot more, correct?
Yeah, amateurs, it's just super fast paced. Like, you have no time to, set up your punches. It's just throw, and then, pro.
Yeah.
You could set up your punches to hurt them.
Slow down a little bit and try to hurt them more than just trying to get your points off in amateur boxing.
Yeah.
And if I'm correct, you both fight at 122. You stand 5'11", and you both fight in the same division at 122?
Yeah, super bantamweight 122. That's our weight class.
We started at 118 for our debut, and we decided to move up because we're too big to fight 118.
Yeah.
So we decided to move up.
Now, are you both relatively along the same mindset of, okay, we're both brothers, we're both, twins, let's campaign in the same division? Because when it comes to twins, the Charlo twins come to mind because they were world champions in the same division. Do you look up to those guys and say, man, the Charlos did it, let's kind of follow suit, we're with PBC and we could do the exact same thing down the line?
Yeah. The Charlos they're really good. They cleared out the their weight class. So that's exactly what we're trying to do. Even better, you know.
I'm trying to become the youngest world champion.
Both of us, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys want to become champions by what? Middle. I mean, you're going to be 18 in a month on August 3rd. So by 19, 20 years old, you guys want to already be in the mix to fight for a world title?
I'll say in like the next 2 years or so, we're ready as long as we stay on the right track.
Be smart about it.
And that opportunity comes, we could be world champion. So.
Oh, that's tremendous. And also looking at the younger, PBC, we're seeing the likes of Vito Malnicki Jr., Omar Juarez, who you guys know, Joey Spencer as well. Do you like this youth movement that we're seeing from the young prospects of Premier Boxing Champions, also the Valderas brothers as well? So, it's a nice young group of up-and-coming guys that aren't even 21 years of age.
Yeah, but all these great up-and-coming fighters are, they're all good. Actually, Vito Malnicki, he was on the USA team with them.
Yeah.
So back in 2018, like 2 years ago. So they're all good people.
Yeah, I feel like it's a new wave of boxers coming up. So we're all young talents. So I feel like we're all ready to get in there and show our skills off.
Have they told you about when you can potentially make your debut with PBC and when your next fight might be? I mean, have they given you and said maybe August, September, somewhere along those lines?
Yeah, well, we're going to fight August 1st in Mexico, and we're looking somewhere in August or September to make our debut
with PBC.
With PBC.
Yeah.
Okay, so one more fight in Mexico then on August 1st, and then you guys want to come to stateside and go ahead and get after it.
August or early September.
Yeah, hopefully.
And how has training been like with the coronavirus pandemic? A lot of people have, been affected by this around the world, been very difficult. And it's really been, startling with the amount of cases that we continue to see. But what has training been like for you guys? Has anything changed?
Well, my dad we have our own gym. So usually we come here, there's nobody here. We're just staying safe, still training hard. My dad has a little bit of private gym, so we can come in whenever we want and get our work in. And, we're just trying to stay safe.
Yeah. So, we don't want to get corona because we can't fight. So, we always got to be safe in this time.
Also, I've read reports that your dad said that initially, when you guys went into the gym, that he didn't want to push you guys too much because he loves the fight game, no doubt about it. But he said, if you guys weren't necessarily into it or messing around, he would put you on the quote-unquote on the bench. Can you tell us about the story behind the bench?
Well, the bench was just basically like whenever we weren't doing what we were supposed to do or we weren't training hard or messing around the gym, he'll just tell us to go sit there and just watch everybody else train because it sucks if you're just standing there and watching your whole team train and spar and you're just watching everybody else. And he used to just tell us that's one day less you're going to be ready to fight. So
I feel like
us in the right mindset of we got to work, Yeah,
I feel like that made us, more hungrier to while I'm sitting at the gym, while I'm sitting down, my opponent's training. I feel like that just made us more hungry.
Mm-hmm.
One also about being hungry, I've read that your sparring sessions between you two are something that, become quite popular. And your dad says that, you guys go out there and really get after it between the two. So I believe that there's kind of it's a friendly sibling rivalry. Is that true?
Yeah, but brothers are going to be brothers. We try to take each other's head off. But, we don't try to spar too many times. My dad doesn't let us.
We'll do drills every once in a while, but full-on sparring, my dad would never. He don't really let us because we'd be going too hard. We try to take each other's head off.
Yeah.
Is it nice to be out of school now knowing that, if I'm, correct, that you guys can really focus on being a full-time pro fighter because, getting to Vito Malnicki Jr., I remember when he was in high school and he was doing fight weeks in Las Vegas during the last couple Wilder fights there. And, he had to do the grand arrivals and then do homework right after that. He was doing schoolwork and worried about cutting weight. Is it nice to be able to say, okay, we got our high school education behind us. Now we could worry about being full-time fighters?
Yeah, it's great to finally get done with high school. We don't have no more distractions. So, we could just really focus on boxing now. 100%.
Yeah. That's what he said.
Yeah.
How do you guys see the current landscape of the super bantamweight division? Because there's a lot of talent, Brandon Figueroa, Stephen Fulton, Ray Vargas is here as well, Daniel Roman, who is out there. There's a lot of terrific talent, amongst the super bantamweight division. You're just 2-0 starting out, but have you already been looking at, the way the division is? Because I feel that 122 is a young division when it comes to the champions.
Yeah. Well, it's a great bracket, but I feel like as long as we, we're only going to get better, and then people in the weight class are too small. I feel like we're really big, and I feel like if we use our distance right, there wouldn't be a problem. As long as we're on the right track and we keep on doing what we're supposed to do, I feel like we're going to do really good in this bracket.
The one thing I'm always curious about when I hear about father-son tandems is the difference, how your dad separates being your father compared to how he separates being a trainer. Is there a difference in your gym when he's training you guys compared to when he's being just your dad?
Yeah, my dad always said, like, when he was younger, he always said it's not good to bring, like, boxing home because, we're always worried about boxing. He feels like it's just too hard on us when we're at home and just constantly about boxing. So, yeah, he's good at being a trainer and a dad at the same time.
Yeah. Whenever we leave the gym, he'll bring it up, but, it's always good to keep your sport like where it's supposed to be at,
Well, I know you're both heavily invested into boxing, but do you guys have other sports that you enjoy, that you watch, or is your life and your focus, strictly boxing when you guys get home? Are you watching old boxing matches, or do you like to watch, the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball?
We like watching fights with our dad. We like playing video games, playing 2K, and playing basketball outside. We like playing basketball, so going out with friends and stuff. But yeah, we do other stuff than just box too, but we go home and we like to have fun a little bit too.
How do your friends react? Because, I can't even imagine not even being 18. I was running around and having fun and everything else. You guys are pro prize fighters, try to make it. I'm sure your friends think it's cool and everything else, but with that also comes a lot of sacrifice. Instead of running around and doing, obviously this is a different world right now with the coronavirus, but, you guys are getting up in the morning, running, maintaining your nutrition, not eating bad food. What is that experience like?
Yeah, with boxing comes with sacrifice. We didn't hang around. We did our online school for 3 years before we went to our senior year. That was one of our big sacrifices. And, training hard, worrying about, like, our friends and who's around us.
Yeah, a lot of our friends here too are in our gym too, so they understand what we got to do.
Yeah.
No, so your friends are even in the gym and, helping you guys out and.
Yeah, so they know what we have to do. They have to do the same thing just like us. So we all kind of see what we have to do,
Now, personality-wise, I know fighting styles you guys are a little bit differently, but, personality-wise, Chavez and Angel, how would you say both of you are? Is one more outgoing than the other? Is one a little bit more shy? How is that like?
We got completely different personalities. Everyone says I'm nicer, and then he's a mean.
They say I'm mean, or he's more quiet. I'm more outgoing and loud and stuff. But yeah.
And you're only 13 minutes apart, right?
Yeah, 13 minutes.
We're 13 minutes.
He's the older one.
Yeah, I'm older.
Okay, so older one by 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, guys, it has been an honor and a pleasure to talk with both of you. And before we leave you, what can fans expect when you make your PBC debut, and also to all those that, in the world that continue to deal with, the coronavirus pandemic that has obviously made a significant hindrance upon our world?
Yeah, well, just expect a great show. We work really hard to be in this spot, so we're gonna work hard to give you the best performance, and just look out for us because we're coming and we're gonna be fighting very soon.
Yeah, and everyone stay safe in this pandemic. I know it's a hard time. It's a hard time for us because I know we could have had like 2-3 fights by now, but we just gotta stay in the gym.
And finally, fighting without fans. When you guys turned pro, I know it's great to be able to be in front of the fans and down in Mexico and everything else, but fighting here stateside, it's a different level. That's why so many people from overseas come here to make, and fight here, in the United States. But what is it going to be like starting to your campaign with PBC without fans?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be a first for us. We always have fans, even in the amateurs. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be like sparring, but of course you're gonna take it like a fight, but it's gonna feel more like sparring in there. There's no fans, no noise like that, so you still gotta do what you gotta do, though.
Well, Chavez and Angel, thank you guys so much for your time. The Barrientes twins with PBC. Excited to see you guys campaigning at 122, not even 18 years of age. Both of them 2-0 with 2 knockouts. Guys, good luck on August 1st, and we look forward to seeing you make your PBC debut.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.